in desperate need of a bounce-back win following the disappointing 2-0 defeat to Burnley over the weekend. The Liverpool Reds got that bounce-back they were looking for with a 5-0 victory over Burton, Hove, Albion away from home. You might want to ask how big that bounce is, considering that Burton, Hove, Albion did not really present much of a challenge. Nevertheless, still the result Jurgen Klopp was looking for, playing mostly first-choice players. Now, for the first time this season, Divock Origi started for the Reds. He opened up the scoring with a nice little back heel finish. That was a nifty move following a nice cross from James Milner, followed by some brilliant play, and I mean brilliant play, from Sadio Mane on the touchline to set up Origi's goal. So, for the Reds, that was really important to get on the board early. They did just that. They obviously dominated possession the whole way through. And the second goal, also set up by the electric Mane, the far and away, the man of the match for me. Just so impressed with his performance. He led the play that created Roberto Firmino's goal, where he just barely headed it past the keeper, giving Liverpool the 2-0 lead. But again, like I mentioned before, Sadio Mane, the real story today. He played a part in setting up 4 out of the 5 goals. The one goal he didn't set up was the own goal that came off of James Milner's corner kick to give Liverpool the 3-0 lead in the second half. So, Mane has clearly proven that he is far more than just a pacey attacker. He has the end product. He can cross. He can finish, although the finishing still has a decent amount of room for improvement. But nevertheless, Mane is just an incredible player, and it's a different team with him in the side. Some optimistic fans may be even saying that had Mane played against Burnley on the weekend, that it would have been a different result. I'm not so sure about that, but at the same time, Mane is a game changer. So in terms of the defense, not too much to be challenged in terms of what the back line had to deal with. I thought Lovren played decent. Meanwhile, James Milner did look better playing fullback. He made some nice crosses with his left foot, but am I happy with him at left back? Should any Reds fan be happy with him at left back? The answer is no, and that can also be the answer for, of course, is Alberto Moreno the answer at left back? And as of right now, that answer is also no. Nevertheless, let's try to keep it positive here. It is a 5-0 win. The defender who really impressed me today, although, his first start of the season, Joel Matip, in his duty. He showed better pace than I was used to seeing from him in the preseason, looked very comfortable on the ball. I was happy to see him get a full run for the Reds. Meanwhile, on the opposite flank, Nathaniel Klein played a brilliant assist that led to Firmino's goal, set up off the pass from Sadio Mane. I'm happy with how Klein is playing, to say the least, although I did slag him off a little bit last week. That could come down to the fact that he knows he is just simply irreplaceable. Certainly, in my opinion, the best right back that England has to offer. Jordan Henderson, underwhelming again. I think that it might come a point later in the season where Klopp has to consider Henderson's status as the captain, although at the same time, that always really, really ruffles some feathers. That could be a risky decision. That being said, the reason why I'm not incredibly happy to see Liverpool come out on top today is not because Liverpool won. Of course, it's always nice when Liverpool wins, but just a tremendous deal of concern seeing Emre Can pick up a non-contact injury. Not exactly sure what it is. Speculation persists that it's a calf or ankle injury. Not too sure there, but he was in just a massive amount of pain. You thought surely his day was done. He came back on just like a warrior in spite of just a massive amount of pain. Like I said, just it looked absolutely excruciating. He was pounding on the ground and all that. So to see him come back was a great show of courage. At the same time, Klopp knew better than to let him keep playing. If you want to see the negative consequences of letting a player play with an injury, just look at what happened to Lucas Leiva when he carried on with a serious injury against Chelsea. He practically missed a full year because of that, and I don't know if he's ever been the same player since then. So, we have to just kind of wait and see what the status is with Chan, that's the major concern. But clearly, Liverpool is also a better team with him on the side. He needs to be a regular starter moving forward when fit. The team's just more balanced. It's more steady. It's stable. He is the pivot between the defense and the attack. So, 5-0 win for Liverpool, very much to be happy about. Later on in the match, also got to give a shout out, of course, to Daniel Sturridge. Scored a very nice goal off of an assist from James Milner. And when I say very nice, I mean very nice tap-in. But the real goal came from Sturridge when he scored the fifth and final goal of the match, when he just took the pass from Mane in traffic inside the box and made no mistake, a ruthlessly precise left-footed finish. Very happy to see Sturridge getting those goals. And Origi and Sturridge both getting goals are going to give Klopp a lot to think about. Does he place two strikers moving forward? My hope is that he does so. So the Reds are now going to carry some momentum into the weekend against Tottenham. The early match against the Spurs on Saturday. Looking forward to it, and as I'm sure you are. So as always, Liverpool faithful, you will never walk alone.